Hey everybody, Chad at Turner's Warehouse here, and today I'm taking out a new tool, and I want to show you kind of the steps I go through. So this is a 1/2-inch bowl gouge from Record Power. These are some of my favorite tools because you cannot beat the price for the quality of steel and the quality of craftsmanship. These are made in the UK, in Sheffield, and what you'll see is it comes sharp but dipped in wax here. So you just give that a cut, pull that off. And this is a sharp tool ready to go. Now, I believe these all come around 45 degrees. So what I'm gonna do is give this a quick grind. I like 50 degrees. So I'm gonna change it up a little bit. And I'm gonna show you how I do that. And what I'm gonna do is use my sharpening system here. We carry these at Turner's Warehouse. They're the Rikon grinding systems. They come with a flat pad like this and a cradle here. Now the cradle can be used just cradling the tool, or it can be used with a jig type grinding jig, which we also have from Rikon. Now, I'm gonna set this up, and this is just for this one tool, but I'm gonna set this up using my Raptor 50. So this gives me the 50 degree. And what I'm looking for is the points to touch here and here and be in the corner, and then I lock it down. Now, these are very specific to the tool and to the setup. You wanna make sure when you set this up, you read the instructions thoroughly. You can see my grinder's elevated here because these platforms have to go underneath it. And it's key that the peak of this tube goes right in line with the center of your wheel. So these are CBN wheels. Whether you have CBN or the traditional stone wheel, it doesn't matter. They just have to be in the center. So this is set for my 50 degrees. And what I'm gonna do is put my gouge through here. And I'm gonna use this little setup jig. I use 1 3/4. You'll pick your setup jig based on the size of your tools. And I'll be honest with you, it does matter, of course, but the biggest factor here is consistency. So whether I had used a 1 1/2 or a 2 1/2 or 1 3/4, if I do the same thing every time and I like the angle I'm getting and I'm getting the proper angle for what I'm turning, it doesn't really matter as long as I can repeat that. So that's the biggest thing to me is repeatability. So I've got that set in there. And the reason we do that is we're measuring from the tip down versus the tail up, because every time we sharpen this, it's gonna be a little shorter, even if it's a tiny bit. So first thing I'm gonna do is use a marker here. And I'm gonna put marker all over my grind. And what this will do is it'll just show me what's happening as I grind this. So you don't have to do this. You can kind of see where it's grinding, but this just allows you a little easier way to see. So I use the jig system because it's consistent and I'm terrible at hand grinding, and here's how I do this. I start from one side, go to the middle, start from the other side, and go all the way across. Now, what you can see is that I have a little bit here of the black, a little bit on the bottom, and a little bit here. Because this was a 45 and I'm doing a 50, I took off a little bit. So I'm gonna make one more pass. And you can see it's a little less because I'm getting it from 45 to 50. Now, I'm taking my time here because one, I don't want to overheat this. We're metal on metal. You might even want to cool it with some kind of fluid, but I don't want to overheat this and bend my or glue my tips. I want to keep this nice and quick. And you can see it's almost done. Probably a couple more passes and that'll be ready. I could have used a more abrasive wheel, but I'd rather take my time and use the finer wheel. So that's what I'm doing here. Now, once this is to my 50 degrees, when I go to sharpen it, it'll take just one pass to be sharp. So one side, and then complete, and that's it. So this one is taking a little more because it's the first one going from 45 to 50 degrees. But even there, you can see how relatively quick this is. And I am all but 50 degrees. And actually, the only place I'm not 50 is right at the top of the wings here, which if I was turning, I probably would just start turning. And then over time, as I sharpen and sharpen and sharpen, I'm gonna clean all that up because that's not crucial to what I'm doing. There we go. We're sharp and ready to turn. Thanks for watching.